All right, today we're doing using lesson 6-3, use models to divide by one-digit whole number. And if you were in my class this year, we are actually, this is an optional lesson. So Chris paid $3.60 for 3 colored pens. Each pen cost the same amount. How much did each pen cost? Use any method to solve the problem. So I will probably write out the problem, $3.60 divided by 3. You can use models, which means you can use cubes or blocks, and we don't have those this year. That's why we're skipping that because we're remote. But you can use a piece of grid paper and color things in as you go. And I'm going to show you using the algorithm. This is early division with decimals. So 3 goes into 3 one time. Basically, we just record the decimal right above where it is and just kind of ignore it. Oops, silly me. Bring that 6 down there. 3 goes into 6 two times. Bring down the 0. So our answer is $1.20. So we do not have our manipulatives at home, so that's why we're kind of skipping this lesson. But if you chose to do it, there we go. And that's using the division algorithm. So on the next page, whoops, here we go. Sorry about that. So here is if we had the manipulatives, this is what you'd be using. You'd be using the 100 block, the 10 block, and the whole block, which stands for 1, the tenths, and the hundredths. So we can regroup, and we could do that all with manipulatives. And over on the side, you can see they're doing the division algorithm. The decimal just moves right up into the quotient. You just ignore it. Do the division as if the decimal's not there. Just make sure you've placed it in the quotient when you're finished. So, next page. My math program's a little glitchy today. Hope the next page comes up. Sometimes if I go back and forward, it'll help. Try that again. Okay, so should you start dividing in the ones or the tenths? So we've already done that in the last chapter. So where is the answer going to start? So in the problem 4 divided into 9.36, we will start our answer here, and we call that the ones place. That's the whole number ones place. How is dividing a decimal by a whole number similar to dividing a whole number by a whole number? Basically, everything's the same, and then the steps are exactly the same, but you need to make sure that you put the decimal point in the right place. So it's exactly the same. So when you're looking over here at the problem, that looks pretty familiar to you. The only difference will be it's got these little decimals in there. So using models or using the long division algorithm for this problem, 4 goes into 2.16. 4 doesn't go into 2. I'm not going to put an X here now because normally when we're doing the division algorithm, as just to make sure I'm going to mark that spot before the decimal, I put a 0 there. So now I'm going to say how many times does 4 go into 21? It goes in 5 times. Notice I'm just subtracting. I'm totally ignoring that decimal. So I'm doing 21 minus 20. That sometimes gets a little tricky for kids. And bring down the 6. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So, and then 16 minus 16 is 0. So remember, you're ignoring that decimal till the end. Oops. All right. So if you want to go through and do some of these for practice, you can.